Well, in Australia, motorsport fits in after the two main ball sports. From a viewer interaction point of view, it's the largest industry or sporting industry other than the ball sports for viewing and attendance. The clients that I act for range from manufacturers, overseas manufacturers of race cars, drivers. I act for a number of drivers in the V8 supercars, as well as overseas. There's one driver in the US, an Australian driver that I act for. I act for motorsport operator, facility operators, in particular track owners. I act for teams, so a lot of V8 supercar teams, but also teams within other categories such as Carrera Cup, DVS, which is a secondary team, a secondary series for V8 supercars. I act for sponsors, a lot of sponsors in the motorsport space. Primarily contractual work, as well as some of the dispute resolution that happens from time to time, but a lot of the transaction documents, particularly as between drivers and teams and sponsors, but also suppliers to those teams, primarily transaction documents. I've been a competitor in motorsport since 1997 and have continuously participated in motorsport for that time. I started getting quite serious in 2005. I also, as it happens, ran the Porsche series for GT3 Cup Challenge for Porsche between 2008 and 2011, and then sold it back to Porsche. But I've been a competitor in that Australian GT, Porsche Club. I also more recently have done some Touring Car Masters, primarily in Porsches, but I've also for a year competed in a Mustang, which I shared with another competitor. Primarily the work comes to me because I understand the industry. Like any industry, if you have an advisor that is able to understand the industry, a lot of the jargon, the technical lingo, but also the way in which the industry works is important. For instance, dealing with the industry regulators such as CAMS or Motorsport Australia as it's called now, as well as V8 supercars, the way it's structured. So a lot of the clients that come to us have an understanding that not only do I know as a participant, but as a race team owner. I also am part owner of Tickford Racing, which is a Ford racing team. So that perspective gives me a unique insight into what people need. Certainly in relation to the sponsorship space, but business or sport is a business at the end of the day, and the type of sport involved can vary. So we've done a lot of work in sponsorship agreements, particularly in the European Premier League. We've done some work in South America as well as Europe. So we look at the sponsor agreements that are generated by the particular clubs that are seeking sponsorship. We make sure that all the deliverables are properly sorted out, the time frames, payments, any exit clauses, any performance clauses.